Hey, what's up, YouTube? I just found a YouTuber that I want to make a response video to. His name is WindyStare7, and when I first saw this guy's videos, I was like, wow, I think we just found someone dumber than G-Man. Now, it takes a lot of talent to be more intelligent than someone the likes of G-Man, but after watching a few of his videos, I think he might have pulled it off. So off rip, this guy already looks stupid. He has on state highway patrol sunglasses and his head's shaped like Megamind, but in his videos, just to get a taste of what this guy or what this guy's views are when it comes to science and the world around us, he has a video that's titled "Gravity Pull is a Lie," where he said that it's not gravity that makes the earth go around the sun, it's the hand of God. He had another video saying that climate change is a lie, despite the fact that since 1990 there's been like 13,000 or 14,000 peer-reviewed climate change studies that with the exception of 24 of them have said that climate change is man-made. So that's like 99.99999% of climate scientists saying that climate change is man-made, but he said that's wrong. He says that dinosaurs died 4,200 years ago and fossils are a lie. And something that I didn't even know was controversial, he actually even made a video that was titled "Debunking the Theory of Light Years." Yes, this guy doesn't believe in the standard unit of light years, which is all light years is the rate or the speed of light and how far it travels within an Earth year. So all you have to do to find light years is take meters per second and divide it by the amount of seconds in a year. You cancel out the seconds and you're left with meters or miles or whatever distance you want to use, and that's how you find light years. It's that simple. But nope, according to this guy, the reason that the theory of light years is not true, the standard unit of light years is not true, is because the light source, we can only see it for a certain distance, and then after you travel or go a certain distance, you can't see the light source no more. I mean, by that same reasoning, you can say that meters, miles, feet, whatever distance standard unit you want to say is not true, because let's say you have a rate of change that is I don't know, 50. Let's say you're going 55 miles per hour on the highway and you only have to travel 10 miles because you can't see 55 miles away. Meters or miles or whatever can't possibly be true, because just can't even talk right now. But yeah, that's what this guy believes in. Now let's get to the video that I want to make a response to. He says that atheists deserve to be put in preventive detention because we are 1 second away from committing rape, genocide, and murder, because we rely on subjective morality. And it's sort of ironic because in this video he said that Hitler was an atheist and that Hitler wasn't a Christian and that he relied on subjective morality, and that's the reason the Holocaust happened, which is the polar opposite of what the facts are, because if you study history, you can see that Hitler was a staunch Catholic. He had so many quotes that said he was a Christian. On the belt buckles of the Wehrmacht and the SS, they had a quote that was inscribed on it saying "Gut mit uns," which I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. My grandmother's Swiss; she'd probably say a lot better than me, but it's basically saying that God is with us. And I could read off 10, 20, 30 something quotes. In Mein Kampf, it's pretty much Christian God quotes and references to him in almost every chapter. But to just pretty much dispel any disbeliefs that people think that Hitler was not a Christian and he was somehow secretly an atheist, I'm going to read this quote or of this response that he gave at a speech in Munich in 1922 to a political opponent who didn't like his anti-Semitism. And he said that my feelings as a Christian points me to my Lord and Savior, and as a fighter it points me to the man who once in loneliness, surrounded by a few followers, recognized these Jews for what they were and summoned men to fight against them, and whose God truth was greatest, not as a sufferer but as a fighter. In boundless love as a Christian and as a man, I read through the passage which tells us how the Lord at last rose in his might and seized the scourge to drive out the temple of the brood and vipers. How terrific was his fight against the Jewish poison. Today, after 2,000 years, with deepest emotion, I recognize more profoundly than ever before that the fact that it was before it had shed his blood upon the cross. As a Christian, I have no duty to allow myself to be cheated, but I have the duty to be a fighter for truth and justice. And if there is anything which could demonstrate that we were acting rightly, it is the stress that daily grows. For as a Christian, I have a duty to my own people. When I look on my people, see them work and toil and labor, and at the end of the week they only have for their wretchedness and misery. When I go out in the morning to see these men standing in their queens and looking into their pitched faces, and I believe I would be no Christian but a very devil if I felt no pity for them. If I did not, as did our Lord 2,000 years ago, turn against those by whom today his poor people are plundered and exposed. I mean, it's quite obvious this man was a Christian, so to say that he wasn't is like the complete opposite of what the facts are. And I find it ironic that this guy who says that atheists are totalitarianists think that atheists, because of our disbelief or lack thereof, deserve to be put in detention camps for committing no crimes whatsoever. He thinks just because we don't get our morality from the Bible that we somehow deserve to be put in prison. Now, I have family members who are, pretty much all of them are Christians. Probably there might be like maybe 2 or 3 atheists in my family. I know my youngest sister is an atheist, but it's like, for me to even imagine or thinking of having my family members who are Christians put in prison because of what they believe in. Now, I might disagree with what they believe, and I might find it a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but those are still my family members, and I wouldn't want anyone being put in prison for what they believe in. We can debate, we can have civilized, rational, or not rational, but civilized discussions on belief systems and the idea of a creator or a god or supernatural entities or whatever. But to me, throwing someone in prison for what they believe in is something I am extremely against. If that day would ever come where there is some sort of atheist conspiracy plot to throw all the Christians and religious people in jail, I would be against that. I would be fighting against that. To me, I wouldn't want to live in a society where people are thrown in jail for their beliefs. I like having the freedom to believe in whatever you want to believe in, and the freedom of speech as well. But according to this guy, if you're not a Christian and you're an atheist and you rely on subjective morality, then you deserve to be put in preventive detention or be sent off to prison. Now, all subjective morality is basically using your own personal experiences and your own critical thinking, using your brain to associate what's right and wrong. It's basically having a sense of empathy towards others and saying, oh, I don't want to go out and kill people because I wouldn't want someone else doing that to me, and I find that to be immoral. Objective morality is basically saying it's set in stone what is moral and what's not moral, and Christians say that objective morality is from the Bible, so it can never change. So anything that's immoral or moral 2,000 years ago is completely immoral and moral, today. So the ownership of people, according to Christians who believe in objective morality, is completely acceptable. Killing your neighbor because they're working on the Sabbath is acceptable. Things like that, like all the crazy rules in Leviticus are all moral, despite Christians for the most part not believing or accepting those as being something that they rely on for morality. So everyone uses subjective morality. Everyone has a sense of empathy, or I hope they have a sense of empathy towards other people. But this guy thinks that because I'm an atheist and I don't need to be told not to kill people, I don't need to be told by a book that's written 2,000 years ago not to do bad onto my neighbors and my fellow human being, that I should be thrown in prison. So I know not all Christians are like this. A lot of Christians will see this and be like, wow, I can't disagree more. Religious people like this and Christians are like this, who think that it's either their way or the highway, that make the world a fucked up place. I mean, if everyone just treated their fellow human beings the way they would want to be treated, a lot of the stuff that happens in the world would not be going on right now. And to close this video, I want to have a message to Wendy Stare 7. You should really reconsider what you say, because it's very hurtful to people. Now I'm not at all I'm not offended by what you say, because it's like I view you as having some sort of a mental illness. To be that entrenched in religion, to have that much religiosity, I feel like you have like some sort of cognitive dissonance, and you're unable to properly use critical thinking in your everyday life. But yeah, you should definitely like go back and look at start with like elementary school education and try to get a grasp on distance and basic science and math, and then work your way up to like middle school and high school, because it's severely you have a severe misunderstanding of just modern day science and education, and I sort of feel bad for him, because I mean, this is a reason why kids need to stay in school and actually focus on their studies, because you end up like this, a person who has no basic understanding of anything. And that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and have a nice day.